Now.
Okay,
Talking about cats. Very nice.
we're in open session, and we don't see anyone here. We have our committee here, so we'll move on to new business. New business, only thing we have on that is address, we need to address issues for microphone placement. Somebody want to chip in on
Thank you.
where we're gonna, what microphones?
So we've on and off kind of gotten feedback from viewers about having difficulty hearing people in the audience, or sometimes people at the table or whatever. So my recommendation, because it's as far as like microphone placement for the audience, it's difficult because there's no real like good surfaces. An option that we do have that I've done in other towns is actually ceiling mounted microphones instead. That would require that we have an installer come in and do that, but I think it would make a difference if we could install additional microphones so that we would have more coverage in this room, and if we could run it up through the wall like we've done with those other two. Then also in the control room, they would be able to control the volume levels of each of the microphones. The way that we have it now, originally the design was just for 2 microphones at a time, but now we're using 3, so we have to use a mixer, which puts some of the volume controls here where like the person who's in there can't touch him. So I think a good potential solution to the audio problems that we've been, getting feedback about would be to equip this room for additional microphones and perhaps do ceiling mounted microphones.
You could have them where they come, you can pull them down and then they retract up.
You can do that, or even this style can actually be mounted on the ceiling. We have those mounted. I have those mounted in 2 different meeting rooms in one town, and they work very well.
So
Yeah.
you just put them on the ceiling?
Yeah, they actually sell ones for these. These are designed to be tabletop or
Right.
ceiling mounted. So they sell a mount for it, so it just like goes up.
What
on
do we
the
have for
ceiling.
money? Do you know, offhand? I mean, last time I asked that we have a budget update so we know we have it in the account. We can.
Right.
I think that just got brought up today,
Did you? Yeah.
pretty sure, with the new accountant that just came through, so we can find that out.
I'm sure we have the money. I mean.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty confident. An installation like that probably wouldn't cost more than.
$5,000.
Oh yeah, no, I don't even think it would cost that.
I make a motion that we, find out what we need for mics and, spend up to $5,000.
Okay, so.
I have no idea what that stuff costs.
Omnidirectional, as they call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think these actually are called parabolic, but
But
same idea. It's all
I
of this
I
surface.
watch a lot of them, and it really is difficult
Yeah,
in
I
some
think
of
he
them.
did.
For the audience, yeah, absolutely, I agree, because it's just a matter of I don't really have anywhere to put it. I put it on the table back there, but people are talking this way,
Right.
so that's difficult. And occasionally we've run into problems with planning board, etc., with just when they're laying out their maps and stuff like that. You can still hear them, but it smacks the microphone and it makes a loud noise. And
So, we have a motion, do we have a second before we get into debate?
Second.
Okay. Input, anybody have anything they want to add to that? Argue about? All in favor?
If they're up and out of the way, people won't have a problem with, they recording me
Opposed?
now, yeah,
Okay. We have three yes and 1 opposed. Motion passes.
all right, I will get some quotes.
Okay. Also include in that, how many do you think they have to have?
I think probably 2 over the audience would make sense, and then Maybe 3 at this table.
Okay.
I feel like every time I'm here, the table gets bigger.
Can't get much bigger.
I don't know. It just,
Okay.
I know that it's been here, but it seems bigger this time.
Does anybody have any other new business for us to look at? Old business.
I have a question. Last time we talked about upgrading the list of town employees, not town employees, but elected officials and boards, because there was a lot of
Yeah.
old information.
Um,
I think we're gonna work on that.
yeah. Lori was switching over to a new software, I guess. And she said she was in the midst of updating that list, and she
Okay.
would be forwarding it to me once it was ready. So that is the plan.
Okay, so we need to keep that in old business so we can follow up on it.
Under new business, if I could go back there for a moment, my issue is an issue I shouldn't have had because I'm on the board. I was telling them folks that a few weeks ago I had a problem with the set box, so I had to bring it back. And I looked at the address online for charter, and it gave the address, at the old area.
Mm-hmm.
So I went there, there was a cardboard on the door where I had gone before, and it said they had moved next to the Stop and Shop on Grafton Street. Well, I knew that address, I used to work around there. So I went up there, and I could not find the charter store. It's because I went back, and I called them, and a little ticked off, and I said, listen, I'm on the cable committee, and I don't even know where your store is. What about the regular customers? And they said, oh, they apologized. They said, it's called the Spectrum store now because Spectrum is their cell phone business. And I said, well, that's nice. I said, don't you think the people should know that? So anyway, I went online again, I found Spectrum, and they are right next door to the Stop and Shop, as they explained. I couldn't find charter, that's what I was looking for. And I think we ought to put something out, either a little blurb on cable as part of our ads. The thing is, I sent me a message. There was one person handling cable business, and there had to be 10 people handling cell phone business, which is their Spectrum.
Sure.
That's the coming thing for them. And
No, it's here. It's not coming, it's here.
yeah, it's here, right. So I thought we should put some kind of a blurb up on and tell them, it seems to me they should be doing this, but cable problems, need new equipment, need a transfer of equipment, et cetera, this is where you should go.
Okay. And that's that Grafton Street address, right?
Yes, yeah. And the best way to say it, it's right to the left.
I bet I could probably find a picture of it. I
It's
could
right
post a
next to
picture.
Stop and Shop,
I could,
yeah.
I could post a picture of it
Now,
too.
you still have a lot of, what confuses things,
Oh yeah.
at their old address, they have a lot of their equipment stored there, and they have a large presence, but not for the public.
Right, right. It's very odd actually because you
Yeah.
like check in. It kind of feels like an Apple store or something.
Exactly.
It's a little weird.
Yeah, last time I was in there, I felt like I walked into an Apple store.
It was weird.
And you shouldn't have to go all the way to Worcester to bring a cable box or a DVR.
Well, you're gonna play, that's their decision to make as to how far it's gonna be.
Because I got rid of a DVR to save $20 a month to keep it all in budget. A month later, they upped it $20 a month. So my wife said, no, I canceled the cable.
It probably cost you $20 in gas to take it back down there, right?
Yeah.
Well, it cost me that much, I'll bet you.
Oh, going twice, yeah.
All right, can we move on to old business again?
Sure,
All right.
I'll be happy to post a bulletin.
All right. I have not had any further, and actually called the guy who was really after it, but he didn't want to talk to me. Concerning getting all the other entities in the town to be at least videotaped and not. You recall that we had an individual in here in all of our meetings who wanted us to step that up. I have talked to a couple of people who originally I didn't think they wanted to be included. And actually there seems to be some reception there, and I wonder if it might not be smart for us to have our secretary go through that again and just see who thinks they're ready. The biggest problem that we were trying to address was having them in this room. And I realize there's a lot of people in this room. I still don't know whether, well, I think I do know that on the other side of the wall over here, they're not really receptive to us being in their meetings in there, despite the fact that we promised that we would.
They read too many detective stories and spy stories, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
I said they won't be recording you
Right.
during it. They think that people will be listening in. I said, I never heard anything here except good conservative talk from seniors that I don't think, you know, I don't understand it. But
I don't either. They're just, yeah, they do. It's just, I have a good friend here in town who is a very bright fellow who is going around telling everybody to rip their Alexa things out of the wall, get rid of them. It's listening to what you're doing. It's gonna, the police can come in and find out what you're doing. And my question was, what is it you're doing? Clue me in. Is it interesting?
give me
What's
his
going
name, I'll
on?
probably get a listening device.
God, it's just so silly. But so we're still battling that. But let's just let me ask you to think about that. And if you have, we all sit on other boards and committees here, I think. And so we ought to just, as a member of the cable committee, we don't have an agenda here. We're just trying to make people happy. We see the cable, at least me, I don't hate to talk for all of us here, but I see this as a way to increase the flow of information about what's going on in town, and also be just a piece of trying to bring I'm tired of people saying that they didn't know the meeting happened, or I don't go to those things, they're boring. We need to, that's the only reason I got involved with this, was to try to make the communication in town flow better. So maybe as a group we could just try one more time, see if there's any interest in doing this. Is that okay by everybody else?
It's okay by me.
Like I was talking to you, Brittany, about the damaged cemetery.
Yeah.
We've been trying to get the stones repaired on Royal Glen Cemetery
Right.
because it's going on the National Register, and we want to look like it. There's a monument down there with 4 columns and it's leaning. And if that goes any further, that's all going to snap right off and it's going to be broken. Right now it's just leaning, and a lot of stones tipped over. I photographed them all, and I'm getting the runaround with the Cemetery Commission. I haven't been able to get to them since April, May. They kept postponing it and canceled it for the summer. And then they had a meeting. We were all going to go commission, and nobody showed up. They canceled it, but they didn't notify us. So if you were going to talk about going with me to show all the damaged stones in town,
Yeah.
and that Betsy Browning Monument off of Williamsville Road, we're working to get that on the National Register. Okay, and that's quite, I don't know if you know
Yeah.
about that one.
Yeah.
Maybe go around photographing these with me
Sure.
and bring to the town's attention of the damage and repairs that need to be done. And,
So is the cemetery commission anti going on the register?
I don't think so. Just I don't know if they're just active or what's that? I contacted Raven Caldera. She's on the board, and the others there. Just basically I got over with. The only thing I got out of them was the flag on the common was put up there for Memorial Day. They notified me that they did that, got that done.
Yeah.
Because I rescued it a couple of years ago in ice storm.
Yeah.
Maybe that might open. Historical Commission, they're all for you filming this and going around town, so
Okay, great.
maybe they'll bring to their awareness of this committee. That
Right.
they're willing to get more involved with us and
Okay.
microphones and whatever.
Get it done. Yeah.
All right.
Sounds great.
If about, we got a window this year that we can do that, or,
Yeah. Yeah, we can squeeze it in.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Any other old business that we're,
So how did the Haunted Hayride film, did you get that?
Yeah. Yep, we got it. I believe it's up on our YouTube channel. Yeah.
it is?
Mhm.
I'll make sure the Lions know that.
Yeah, it's on our YouTube channel. The Halloween hoedown is there also. Unfortunately, it was really rainy, so it's not a very long video. And the field day and the 5K. I think that's most of what.
Yeah, the
We had
Hubbard-
that Equinox concert.
Did you go to the haunted hayride?
I did not know,
Oh, you missed a good one.
but I saw the video of it.
We had, I was working in the ticket booth,
Yeah.
and I had these 3 or 4 families showed up, and they were from the road that goes down the side of Rieta. They're at the intersection of,
Pitcherville?
yeah, Pitcherville, I think it was. And all they heard, because that's where that side was where the Skookie Walk was. And they decided they needed to come because all they could hear was women screaming over there. So they came over, bought a ticket, and went through.
Nice.
Yeah.
No,
I
the-
had family members show up there, quite a few of them, and they said they had a great time. My 7-year-old grandson said, well, one of them said, well, we gotta come next year. He said, I'm gonna come here every year. That's good.
Yeah.
If they do it every year, it's gonna get more people to look forward
There
to
were,
it every
there
year.
were quite a few out-of-town people.
It is an annual event, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Because I went to it last year. I was able to go last year. I was really impressed. It's kind of a big
Yeah.
deal.
And then it's the Lions of our Lions Club is now working with Athol. So we take some of our skits over to Athol, and they take some of theirs over here, and
So you can like alternate them.
yeah, so it's not same old all the
Smart.
Because they use your props, we use their props.
time.
and-
Right. Yeah.
Another thing, the Hubbardson song, yeah, Tom DeBono, I filmed his concert years ago before he passed away. and
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I love this song. I played it about 200 times, and I changed all the lyrics.
Right.
Had him re-record it as the town of Hubbardson.
Right.
And I put it on YouTube, which has got like 42,000 views. And now when you posted on YouTube, you took my credit, the lyrics out of it completely. So
The
the very
lyrics
end
out of
at
it.
the end of it, it's Gary King's production, but it was words and music by Tom DeBono with
Mhm.
lyric changes by Gary King, and we whipped that out of there.
I wonder why. I'd have to look. Words and music by Tom DeBono. Oh, that's weird. Oh, it says a Gary Kangas production. Maybe, oh. It looks like it faded down maybe before it said your lyrics by. That's odd though. Did you do the title with the clouds? That looks like yours.
Yeah, I did that in the end. But then when it says Tom DeBono, words and music by Tom DeBono with lyric changes by Gary Kangas right
That's-
after that.
That's really odd. I'll take a look at the file you gave me, but
Yeah, a friend of mine.
it's weird that I wouldn't have like purposely cut that out.
There's another song that a friend of mine wrote, but it was never published sold.
Mm-hmm.
Gone are the Days. It's more of a southern hillbilly mellow to it. I'm taking these old pictures like this of Hubbardston and I rewriting the lyrics to it. I got a little more work to do about Gone are the Days of Hubbardston. Gone was the ford that went over the creek. Gone were the grist mills and cornfields and farming and all that.
Can you do that without a license?
But
The song?
well, my friend wrote it and he gave me permission to alter it and
He
personalize
he
it.
wrote Gone Are the Days? The one that used to be on the, trying to think of the TV show. That was a lyric.
Archie Bunker.
Huh?
Archie Bunker?
Yes.
Yeah,
Gone were the days, I think the way they put it.
Those were the days.
Those were the
but
days.
can you use the music without,
No, it's not that. Nothing to do with that song. This is my original lyrics. Nobody's ever heard it.
We can't
Okay, well,
even
you missed
sing
the-
hymns at church unless we have a license to
Yeah.
do those.
Certain ones, yeah.
but you didn't answer the question.
Yeah.
The question was not about the lyrics. The question is
music.
the tune, the music.
Yeah, it's an original tune that my friend wrote, but he never really did much with it. In fact, he crippled his hand so he can't play anymore. But he gave me permission to finish it and play with it and change the lyrics.
Okay.
And the Greens got together with their whole family and we tried the new lyrics, and it turned out to one comedy thing afterwards, but it needs some more work. I think with the old pictures in the background, slideshow of what Hubbardston used to be. That's gonna be the whole project I'm working on.
Okay. That you brought the greens up. We were at the in Gardner at the Ale House 2 nights ago, and they were there,
Yeah.
and it came out in the talk between myself and the Greens that they're playing at the Bull Run the night before Thanksgiving. If you've never gone to one of their concerts, they're pretty good.
Very talented family.
While I was sitting there eating dinner and watching them sing it, my wife was over there making reservations, so. Well, we have 2 granddaughters that are gonna be there, so. Okay, any other old business?
I'm wondering if I got the memo. I'm looking around the room and I see a lot of chin whiskers. And I'm the only one without them. I have trouble growing hair anyway, but I noticed Al over there.
It's no shave November or something.
Oh,
I
No
know.
Shave November.
when I was in the hospital for a week,
Good
I didn't
title.
bother shaving.
Good
Is
title.
that right?
Good
My
title.
granddaughter said, don't shave it, and then my wife I said, take my picture before I shave, and she said, no, don't take it off yet.
Well, I shouldn't say that. I'm on TV. Old business, any other old business? All right, we do have minutes to approve.
I do. Do I make a copy for everybody, or do you just review them? There's 2 copies there.
Okay. I'll pass this down to you and you can run it
Thank you.
around.
Thank you.
I don't believe I was here for that meeting. I think I was ill.
Yeah, you were here.
Is that right? I don't remember some of that.
Don't say that. Don't say
Well,
that.
I'm not gonna go any more further with that.
Turn this off. Don't say that.
Yeah. Discussion about the upcoming events covered, haunted hayride, historical society, contract, tree lighting.
I might have been dozing.
Yeah, this is just the answer to
Yeah.
the issue of the material on the channel needs to be
Mhm.
updated.
Do you anticipate taking stills or taking a video of the light flight when all those registrants have filled out their paperwork and submitted it?
Yeah, I want to try to cover it this year.
You gonna try to do stills or
Probably do video. I've recorded lights before like that. Usually you do like a still shot and
Yeah,
like
right.
either zoom in or zoom out like kind of slowly.
Okay.
Do you know roughly how many usually like sites there are? Like
No.
like participants? No.
That comes
Okay.
out of the
I
town
think it was
clerk's
high
office.
teens last year.
Oh, okay, that's not too bad. I just didn't know if I was looking at like dozens
You don't know
or
this year. Could
okay.
be bigger and better.
right.
So we're gonna stay with Monday,
See what?
stay with meetings on Monday?
Yeah, it's
Works
good.
better for me.
Yeah,
Okay.
it works fine for me.
Yes, it's good for me too.
You got a date
How
for the
about
next
you?
one?
As good as any, I guess, thank you.
Okay.
You got a date for the next meeting?
If we were sticking with the third Monday, we would be looking at the 16th of December.
Yeah, it looks good to me.
December 16th?
December 16th.
Mm-hmm. 2 p.m.
Okay, I'll read the minutes. Do I have a motion to accept the minutes?
I have a motion to accept the minutes.
Okay. Second? You have a second by Gary Kangas. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so we got the next meeting in here. Okay, any other business to come before us before we turn out the lights and go home?
Anything else will be, when the school program I did, would be, aired, the history of the Hubbardston schools.
I have that in my queue of things to include. Do you want me to work on that one next? Okay.
I got a few other things here that when you're ready,
Okay.
finally, I'll get a copy of that to you so we can put some kind of intro to it.
Okay.
And then, I carved three full-size carousel horses.
Mm-hmm.
Two of them I did the same horse because I was already started one and I want to do a video on carving of a carousel horse from beginning to drawing it to the finished horse.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, that was the first broadcast cable program on cable when it first came to Hubbardston.
Yeah, I remember actually. What was the name of that couple that really got involved?
Stan Frieder and Carla Nielsen.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, he's passed away.
Yeah. It's a tough business, this cable stuff. Okay, if no other business has to come for us, we'll adjourn the meeting.
I got a petition for Hubbardston voters. Actually, this is being circulated around the state. I already hit you up for this, didn't I? Friday night, Al?
I thought you were angry.
Huh?
I thought you were angry at me Friday night.
Angry at you?
Yeah.
Why would I be
I thought I
angry?
I was gonna wear my special tie.
Huh?
I was gonna wear my special tie.
Oh,
The
no.
one that you appreciate so much.
I hope you don't take offense. I was just joking.
I know.
You guys gonna adjourn the meeting?
We did adjourn.
We did.
You did.
I didn't hear votes for adjournment.
Oh, you're falling into
Falling